Welcome, everybody. Man, you gotta love these tunes. Absolutely gets me so psyched for the show. Guys, welcome to DVDM Markets. Welcome to Dollars for Lunch. This is our free weekly broadcast on a Wednesday right here at 14:15 GMT +2. Massive welcome. Wherever in the world you're joining us, guys, let us know. Drop a comment. I will read all the comments. I'll get back to you. Welcome to ask anything you wish. Drop a comment right there and I'll be reading and I'll get back to every single one of you. Guys, it has been an amazing start to the month. Welcome to a brand new month of October. We're about to do some crazy things. Now, if you're not already part of the DVDM Markets October Signals promotion, guys, you've got to get in it. It is absolutely free. It's your education, it's the trade opportunities, it's the live trades, and every once in a while I'll throw in a free show, but directly delivered to every single one of you. Every single signal we've submitted this morning to the group, which is again absolutely free. People are already in profit and making money. So I don't know where in the world you're at or what you're doing. If you're not in that group, you've got to get moving. So massive welcome to Double D, Gilbert, Tagita, Daniel, and Joshua Batandwa. I see you there, my brother. Alan, what's happening? Guys, we're about to have an amazing time together. We've taken time over the last 2 days to not issue trades because there's been a bunch of major opportunities that have busy blown up all over the market. And I'm about to show you some of them right here, right now. And it's just some really crazy things. There's opportunities absolutely everywhere. And we've just been I've had a pretty amazing day today, just based off some of these opportunities. So if you're not pumped, you're about to be. So let's have a look, guys, what is happening from the fundamentals in the markets. There is a link in this video description to join the Telegram channel where you'll find out pretty much everything you need to know and the 5 steps you need in order to complete to get into the free October promotions group. It's absolutely free. Everything is free. You can start with an account from as little as about 1,000 Rand, I think, and that's directly in your name. All you need to do is follow the process. Last month, we banked about 4,000 pips. We were aiming for about 6,000 this month. And to give you some perspective of what that means, 6,000 pips at 0.01, which is the smallest trade you can take, would result in about a $600 profit, even on a $100 account. Guys, that's a 600% ROI. You cannot miss this, right? You cannot miss this. It may not be free ever again. It's a promotion. We're trying it out. And I get a lot of messages from you guys. Please, we're still processing hundreds of requests. We're helping hundreds of clients from around the world get into this group to follow the steps, to follow the process, to get their accounts registered. So if we haven't got back to you, please just bear with us. We're sitting with a massive backlog as it is. But we're super excited. No matter where in the world you're at, we're going to do some really cool stuff. So up first, I think let's jump into the fundamentals. We have a fairly quiet day outside of already what's happened today. So let's do a quick recap right there and see what's busy happening. Beautiful. So as you guys all know, in the Signals group, I shared this morning's Masters broadcast this morning with every single person. And we took some advantage of the construction PMI data that came out this morning. I'm going to show you the structure that's formed and the trade we've taken there, as well as some other trades that we're busy looking at. Gbp Jpy is doing absolutely amazing. Outside of that, in terms of where we currently are, we just got some positive dollar data in terms of the ADP non-farm employment change. And this is going to have a knock-on effect on pretty much everything right now in the markets. So I've sent a trade update into the groups. If you've taken gold with us, we issued this around about 10-11, then move your stop loss into entry and you're currently sitting at the investors table on that gold position. But this is definitely going to affect things like gold. This is going to affect, all dollar based currencies are going to see a slight spike in an uplift or a buy momentum, and all dollar quote currencies will see a little bit of a sell-off based on this data. This is really strong numbers. There was expectation for a growth. There was 428,000 new jobs expected to have been made for the month of September, but we're seeing a current reading of 568. So that's going to be big for the dollar. Outside of that, we've got some FOMC meetings that are currently happening that can always have a little bit of effect on the markets. But I think the thing that everybody's looking for right now is we are obviously paying attention to the crude oil data that's going to come through, right? We know that crude oil has a correlation on gold. So when crude oil moves as a commodity, we see a knock-on effect on gold. So for those of you trading gold, this would be something you want to watch, right? And a surplus of inventory can mean two things. It can mean that demand has decreased or that production has ramped up. So it's about really going in, looking at that data, reading up a little bit about what does that mean. Obviously, more consumption or high usage of crude oil, better for economy, means more business is being done, people are traveling more, people are spending more money. A slowing down of stock or production is obviously not a great thing, and obviously less of a usage to those inventories obviously would also not be such a great thing for the price of oil, as well as a knock-on effect on gold, and then subsequent effects on the dollar, as well as some of the big oil names out there. But okay, moving on, I think everybody is here to see the trades. That's what we're here to do. That's what I'm probably the most excited about. Guys, listen, if you are in the VIX trade that I sent out today, if you're a master student, we didn't give this out to the signals group because VIX is quite volatile. If you're a master student, go have a look at your VIX trade right now, and you should be smiling. I think we are a couple, how many pips in profit are we there? Let me quickly give it a quick check. Let's have a look. How many pips in profit are we on VIX? Okay, so we're closer to 200 pips of profit per position on VIX. So we are just edging on about 500 pips on VIX alone from the opportunity I sent at 11 o'clock. Now, if you were part of the signals group, I let you into some secrets this morning, right? In terms of you included in the master show, and I showed you some reversal strategies on VIX. So if you were part of that, I got you, and you know what we're busy talking about. If you're not part of that, guys, get a part of it. It is massive. So having a look at VIX, moving straight on into VIX, this is what we're currently dealing with. This is how she looks on a 15-minute time frame, and this is where we called out the sell at that 78.6. So VIX is absolutely pumping, and again, we could see VIX continue to fall over the course of the whole afternoon, the whole evening. And the biggest structure of VIX is actually what has got me most excited. Just zooming out, have a look at this massive structure that we are taking advantage of, right? We've got this massive bear market, and we're catching VIX right at its upper level in terms of resistance on a known Fibonacci level, and this is going to be massive. Moving on into the dollar index, guys, as we discussed early in the week, we've discussed this yesterday, we discussed this on Monday about the strength of that dollar breakout. It ended up happening, broke out of structure, and this is where we're seeing that really, really strong dollar come into play, and really dominating the market right now from a major currency perspective. Now, as you know, more than half of the market is traded in the United States dollar, whether it's transactions, whether it's forex, whether it's big business, whatever it may end up being. Half of the world's markets are traded and are dealt with, transacted in the United States dollar. So its movement is paramount to everything that we do, and that's obviously the current forecast that we have. There's certainly an expectation for the dollar to continue rallying, but remember, we have NFP on Friday, non-farm payrolls. I'll be trading live with all of my master students from around the world. So we're going to look at the employment change, as well as the unemployment figures, the hourly rates, and the wages across the US. And that's a very key indicator in terms of the strength of the United States dollar. And again, leading up to what I said earlier, 50% of the world's transactions done in the dollar has a massive knock-on effect. So if you guys remember, last NFP I traded live with all my masters from around the world, and we made a massive killing on a short on gold. The rest of the world was buying up all these assets and commodities, looking for a weaker dollar, and we called out a much stronger dollar, and we caught that, and that was a massive windfall for us. That made up a ton of pips for the last month, and we're looking to repeat that again this Friday. So if you're a master student, bookmark Friday at 2 o'clock. It'll be a special edition show. Okay, moving on into ZAR, guys. This is the thing that I was worried for, and this is why I did not want to look for a ZAR buy, for the reason being that we've crossed one of our fib fans, a very key level that has been strategic in holding the price of ZAR. We have bounced off of that level there. Now, even though we just got some positive US data, ZAR is still, as we know how ZAR reacts, ZAR does not conform to any of the world's fundamental data. If you guys remember last month, we received the highest unemployment rate we've ever had, and the South African Rand strengthened, right? So we try not to apply a lot of the fundamentals to the South African Rand. It just is different, guys. We do things differently in Southern Africa. Like we don't follow what the world does, right? We do what we want to do. And so the currency tends to follow the same routes. Now, we will start looking out for opportunities here. ZAR already started the bit of that breakout of the long-term buy structure, or at least the last 3 weeks we've seen this buy momentum on ZAR. It had temporarily broken out, tried to regain into that market structure, and has failed. So we're going to continue to monitor and have a look, and what we're going to more than likely end up finding is a little bit of a sideways market we could potentially look at taking advantage of, and seeing will ZAR get back into that structure. Certainly my expectation is that if we see really strong data on Friday from the United States dollar, that will definitely be a tipping point to push ZAR into that avenue. Again, and equally opposite, should we get some bad data, unexpected or underwhelming data in terms of the US data from the forecasts, exactly the opposite. We could then see a long-term sell-off, or at least a short to medium-term sell-off on the United States dollar versus the South African Rand. So this is something we're going to be paying quite a bit of attention to. Now, moving in onto gold, guys. Gold is not reacting at all to the US data, guys. If you are trading gold, we issued a buy order at 1748. It was round about there, and gold is absolutely rallied. Gold is over 100 pips per position in profit right now. So if you're a trader, if you're part of the masters, if you're part of the signals group, there's over 100 pips right there, and gold does not seem to be slowing down at all. Now, this is obviously the markets are not eating up that fundamental that we just got from the United States dollar that I showed you a little bit earlier in terms of some of these preliminary NFP, non-farm employment change results. They're not absorbing that at all, right? Price action is king, and we saw the price action happening this morning. We issued out that buy. There is a bigger structure happening on gold, right? There's a bit of a symmetrical inverted triangle that we're seeing, and again, gold has the opportunities to reach all the way up to 1772, if not even more, right? And again, this market formation is definitely on the cusp of waiting for that stronger data or that NFP data. We generally see leading up to NFP that markets are a bit dovish. Markets are a bit scared to make a decision or trend direction waiting on that NFP data. So over the course of this evening as well as tomorrow, we will see a slower US market. We'll start to see that slow down a little bit leading up to that NFP data that we will be receiving on Friday. So that's something on gold, but we are already in great profits there. Gbp Jpy, another massive winner. We issued this morning, and Gbp Jpy is something that I discussed in the live broadcast early this morning, and we were aware that we're going to get that pound data at about 10:30. The US, that was the Gbp housing data. Let's just have a look at that quickly, and that was, it came as very weak. We got some weak data there. The expectation already was that we would get a weakening, and then we got a further weakening in terms of that purchaser manager index. We expected a 54%, we got a 52.6. Decent enough standard deviation to mean that the pound was going to buy less and less of the Japanese yen, and ultimately forced a break in the structure. But what was powerful about it is not necessarily just the break, but the overall market structure that we are seeing, and us hitting that 88.2 fib level that we obviously took advantage of not even 2 weeks ago, we had a massive windfall on Gbp Jpy towards the downside for over 300 pips 2 weeks ago on the exact same market formation. So guys, these things are repeatable, these things are replicable. All you have to do is go into the Quantum Growth Markets YouTube series, and for 8 hours I take you step by step through the process. Even existing students, guys, if you're missing some of these trades, if you're not seeing some of these trades, go and redo your studies. It's free, and it's only free right now. It may change in the future, right? I'm getting a lot of pressure for people to say, listen, this is something people should be paying for right now. I really don't care. I want as many of you to benefit from that series as humanly possible. Obviously in the masters, each show is a teaching session, so we go even further than that. But in the free session, you've got everything you need to know, and so much more. Now, moving on, in terms of what other opportunities are we seeing in the market right now, everything that we have currently issued is already in profit, but what other opportunities are we having a look at? So another big one that I'm keeping an eye on, the team is monitoring quite closely, is NASDAQ, US 100, otherwise also known as US Tech. But ultimately what we're looking for is an activation or an order closer to this $14,362 a mark, right? Because we obviously have a very strong market structure at play here. We've pushed through the 50-day moving average that generally supports the rise of the US 100 fairly well, or NASDAQ. So we're looking for that dip down into that level over there. Now we will get it. There is smaller market structure that's definitely telling us that we are going to continue to move further and further towards the downside. It may be something a little bit similar to that. And so we could see a little bit of a rise over the course of today from a US 100 perspective, but then certainly a dip down to that 14,367 mark could certainly be the move that we're looking for in order to get very long on this trade, right? So a long-term buy. Again, it's not ideal to short NASDAQ, specifically if you want to have an investment position, just because of how brutally NASDAQ has run into the future. Now there's a huge disconnect between Wall Street and Main Street, almost regardless of what the dollar does, outside of big scares like the federal debt ceiling that is obviously being discussed right now in the US, and they have only 2 weeks left. These things will be resolved, but this does not affect the US 100. These are technology companies. These are Facebook. These are Google. These are Amazon. These are Apple. These are all the big listed public companies, technology entities in the US. And these guys just continue to thrive, continue to post profits, continue to absolutely smash the benchmarks, including Tesla and everybody else. Obviously included in that. So those are the big trades that we're currently looking at. We've been spotting these trades and looking at them Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. We felt, outside of obviously USD ZAR and NASDAQ, that these trades were ready. So we've issued 2 trades with a total of 4 positions into the signals group, and as masters we have 3 trades with a total of 6 positions in the masters group. I don't know what the pip count is, I don't know where we're at for the day, but I can tell you we are well over 700 pips for the day in pure profits, running profit. And what I would advise everybody to do is on VIX, tighten your stop loss a little bit. I would tighten stop loss potentially to entry or just above entry in terms of that 78.6. So I would limit and tighten your exposure there to around about 100 pips. We have 200 pips running in profit right now. We've got 2 positions in all of our trades, and so it's been a really good trading day. Wednesdays tend to be some of the best trading days, but today has just been an absolute monster. So again, guys, if you're not in the October Signals promotion group, I don't know. Free trades, free education, mentorship, shows, everything else in between. There's nothing else like this has ever happened before. Anywhere else in the world, you'll pay anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 to get the exact same thing. In some places in the world, you heard me right, 75,000 Rand to get what I'm giving you guys for 100% for free. This is what I love to do, and I love to do it with every single one of you. And as long as you guys benefit and enjoy the process, I will continue to do more things for the community and give back in as much of a way as I physically and possibly can. This is what we do, guys. I love trading, and you will start to fall in love with it once you start banking pips and making withdrawals the right way, the investment way. Risk reward, psychology, all of these things are the biggest points. Taking trades, anybody can take a trade. Anyone can take a trade who has a smartphone, but doing it right is what matters, and that's what we care about the most right here at DVDM Market. So outside of that, guys, these are the trades that I'm obviously paying the most attention to. Get into the signals group. I cannot say it's more than enough. There is a backlog, so I'm saying this and I'm adding obviously to the backlog that currently exists, but you have to be there, guys. If you've never traded before, go ahead, the link is down here. You can follow the whole quantum growth market series for free. The video is in the description right here on YouTube. You can follow it for free. Go, and if you've never traded before, this will open up your eyes in terms of what is trading, from analysis to pips to markets to governments to politics to fundamentals to price action to Fibonacci to market structures. Everything you name and more is delivered right there for free. And go ahead and you're welcome to share it with anybody that you wish. You can share this with anybody that's been in the markets, that's struggling to find profitability, guys. That is what it is all about. VIX is absolutely smashing it. Gold is absolutely smashing it. Gbp Jpy is going to be a windfall. And remember, it's just going to keep getting better. This is just the first week of the month. Like I said, we're aiming for that 6,000 pips target. You can see we've just run up to 700 pips today. From 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock in 5 hours, 700 pips right there and then. What does 700 pips mean? If you had a $100 account, even at 0.01, 70 pips means 70 United States dollars. So in one day, of the smallest possible trades you could have potentially made, you're looking at about just over 1,000 Rand for 3-4 hours worth of work for free. If you had a bigger account, if you had 1,000 United States dollars, we're talking much more. We're talking 700 US dollars. So we're talking bigger money. We're talking about 12,000 Rand in 4 hours worth of work. And all you had to do was follow for free. It costs you nothing outside of funding your live account with whatever amount you wish and just following the process. I don't know. It seems like a win to me. I don't know how it gets any better than that. I don't know. I don't know. Outside of that, guys, that is really what I wanted to talk about today. The promotion group is there. Everything is happening right there. Follow the 5 steps. There's a few steps you need to follow. You need to watch the Quantum Growth Markets program. You need to like each of those videos. You need to follow the link that's in this video description. It'll take you to our Telegram channel or group. In the group, there's the steps listed once again. But then there's a link to open up your live account. Make sure it's funded, starting with 1,000 Rand, whatever amount you wish, and then send confirmation of all these steps through to the email address that's provided. Boom, we add you. It doesn't get any better than that. Guys, listen, I'm having an awesome trading day. I was struggling on energy today, but I feel pumped. I feel pumped for the markets. I feel pumped for every single one of you. And it's an absolute blessing to have every single one of you in my lives, and that we can do these kinds of things together through the beauty of technology. I'm sitting in my home right now. Wherever you are in the world, we're connecting. That's what it is all about. It's beautiful. So guys, listen, as always, I'm gonna love and leave you. I'm gonna play out with some amazing tunes. Trade safe, be safe as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys next week Wednesday. But if you're on the signals group, I don't know, maybe we'll trade NFP live together. We'll see. It's not a promise, but I'll double check. I'll see how much feedback there is, and we'll make a plan. We'll see what's busy happening. But through the balance of this week, guys, we're going to close this week super strong. We're aiming for 1,000 pips plus minimum this week. In the signals group, I promised you guys at least 500 pips or so, but we're going to smash that. We're going to go as far as we can physically go, and we're going to have an absolutely amazing time. Listen, guys, I love you. As always, trade safe, be safe, and have fun, and I'll see you guys a little bit later. Shalom.